Hey there folks, thanks for tuning into our latest video. I'm absolutely thrilled to introduce you to our brand new product, the Zerodha UltraScalper, tailor-made for all you index option traders out there. This bad guy is loaded with some fantastic features and I'm going to walk you through each and every one of them in this video. Plus we will dive into some live demos whenever we can. So let's get started. Let's now take a look at how to log into the tool. Once you have purchased the tool, you will receive two files, the main exe file and the configuration file. You will need to input your Zerodha account ID and a token inside the configuration file. To open the configuration file, simply right-click on it and select Open with Notepad. In the username field, input your Zerodha account ID within the single quotes. Now, there are two ways to obtain your token. The first method involves installing a browser extension. Let's see how to do that. Log into your Zerodha account using your preferred browser. Here I am using Microsoft Edge, but any browser will do. Head to the extension store and search for Cookie Editor. Install any one of the available extensions. Next, on your Zerodha page, navigate to the extension and look for the keyword ENC token. Copy the value you find there. This will be your token. Paste this value into the configuration file under the token section and save the configuration file. The second method is to manually inspect the web page and copy the token. To do this, right-click on the Zerodha page and click Inspect. Select the Network tab. This will record your network activity. Now, click on a link within Zerodha. For example, I am clicking on the Orders tab. Below, you can see it is being recorded. Click on Headers and you will find the ENC token value inside the Authorization section. Now copy and paste this value into the configuration file. Once you have added the necessary details, open the exe file as an administrator. Click on the Login button. If your login is successful, you will receive a connected message below. The tool is designed to be responsive to your screen size, allowing you to maximize it or adjust the window size by tracking the edges as per your preference. Now let's take a closer look at the features of the tool. At the top of the tool, you will find the index last traded price and the percentage change from yesterday's close. By default, it displays Nifty, Bank Nifty and Fin Nifty. However, you can also choose to view Sensex, Midcap Nifty or BankX from the drop-down menu. In this tool, you have the flexibility to set your index stop loss, target 1 and target 2 along with index trailing stop loss. You can also configure option stop loss, options target 1 and target 2 with trailing stop loss. Furthermore, you can even combine the index stop loss and target with options stop loss and target. The tool will exit the position as soon as either of these conditions is met. If you trade with multiple lots and have multiple targets, you can enter a partial quantity. The tool will exit a portion of your position at target 1 and the remaining quantities at target 2. However, if you have only target 1, there is no need to enter a value in the partial quantity field. With this tool, you can trade in Nifty, Bank Nifty, Fin Nifty, Sensex, Midcap Nifty and BankX. Simply choose the index you wish to create from the drop-down menu. The exchange expiry and quantity fields get automatically populated. By default, the lot size is set for one lot, but you can adjust this value in the default lot field. The quantity will be calculated based on the default lot size you select. The latest expiry date is displayed, but if you prefer to change it, you can select an option from the expiry drop-down list. By default, normal order type is selected, but we have the flexibility to switch to MIS if necessary. In this tutorial, we have introduced an ATM anti-money button that lets selecting the anti-money CE and PE strikes as you see assessing the trade. Currently, Anti is trading around 43,440. As a result, the 43,400 CE and PE options have been automatically selected. The ATM button is ticked. You can also specify the number of states away from the ATM strike that you would like to see. For example, if I input 4, the CE will display the ATM strike as 4 strikes away, when the PE will show the ATM strike minus 5 strikes away. If you prefer to see the opposite, you can enter a negative value. For instance, if I enter lines to it, the CE will display the ATM strike minus 2 strikes away. Given that the current ATM is 43,500, the CE will be set at 43,300 and the PE will be S2 strikes away at 43,700. You also have the option to manually enter the strike and hit the enter button. For instance, in the CE, I can type 43,300 and then press enter. Likewise, the same can be done for the PE. In this tool, you have the option to set an account level profit and loss threshold. This means that if your market-to-market value reaches a specific profit or loss, the tool can automatically close all of your positions. To enable this feature, simply input your desired maximum profit or loss value and then tick the checkbox to activate it. Remember to enable the checkbox only after you have entered the value. For instance, let's say I have set a maximum profit of 2000 and a maximum loss of 300. Now, when I enable the checkbox, the MTM stop loss or target feature becomes active. If my MTM reaches a loss of 300 or a profit of 2000, the tool will exit all positions, hence ensuring your account stays within your desired profit and loss limits. Now, let's talk about the quantity selection feature tailored to your available capital. Suppose I want to allocate 50% of my capital for buying C options. I can simply type 50 and hit the B button to see the maximum purchasable quantity for C buying. To determine the quantity for C selling, I can press the Yes button. You will also receive a message below explaining how the calculation was performed. If I click on this, it will display the maximum lots I can write. In case there aren't enough funds in my account, it will show a zero quantity as I don't have the necessary funds to execute the trade. Now let's explore the options for selecting market or limit orders. This tool has been designed in a way that it doesn't directly place market orders. Instead, it executes a limit order with a 5% price protection buffer. For instance, let me place a market order for a PE position of 900 quantities. It will get rejected due to insufficient funds. However, what I want to demonstrate is how the tool handles market orders. When you check the order details in your Zerodha order history, you will see that the tool tried to place a limit order with a buy price set 5% higher than the last traded price. Now let's say you want to buy at a specific price. In that case, you need to select a limit order. For example, if I wish to purchase PE at 180, I would input the price as 180 and the limit as 1. You can use any limit value you prefer. As now PE is trading at a price lower than 180, the tool will place a stop loss order with the trigger price set at 180 and the limit at 181 as the game limit as 1. However, if I intend to buy the same PE at 80, I will set the price as 80 and the limit as 1. In this scenario, as the current price of the PE is higher than 80, tool will place a limit order at 80. We have the option to trigger a CE or PE trade based on the index reaching a certain level. For instance, if I want to place a limit order to buy PE at 80 once back Nifty falls below 43,410, I simply need to enter the desired index level in the provided box and then click on the Buy PE button. You will receive a confirmation message below. Now, let's say I want to cancel the index level trigger. It's as simple as clicking the X button next to the index level box and you will receive a confirmation message below. As an example, I will adjust the value to 43,420. You can see that the order is placed as soon as the index crosses below 43,420. With the one-click feature, you can swiftly execute various actions in the tool using your keyboard shortcuts. To enable this feature, simply toggle the button next to the one-click and you will receive a message confirming that keyboard shortcuts are enabled. The tool supports several keyboard shortcuts: up arrow to buy CE, down arrow to buy PE, left arrow to sell CE, and right arrow to sell PE. Caps lock plus C to cancel all open orders. Caps lock plus E to exit selected open positions. Caps lock plus EX to exit all open positions. Caps lock plus K, it's a power kill switch which essentially cancels all open orders and closes all open positions. Let's take a quick demo. I will switch to the limit option since I don't want to enter a position right now. Currently, there are 3 open orders. When I press C, all open orders are cancelled. Now let's test the arrow case. Please note that my sell orders will be rejected due to insufficient funds. In this tool, we have the capability to schedule our trades by specifying entry and exit times. To enable the entry time feature, simply input the desired time in the hours, minutes and seconds format and then toggle the button next to the entry time. Let's walk through a demo. I have set the entry time as 10:23 and enable the toggle button. Now I'll attempt to place a limit CE trade. Once I click the buy button, you will receive a confirmation below, indicating that the order is scheduled to execute at 10:23. Similarly, we can also establish an exit time to automatically close all open positions at a specific time. To enable the exit time feature, input the desired time in the hours, minutes and seconds format and activate the toggle button text to exit time. Let's demonstrate this with a demo. I will set the exit time as 10:28 and enable the toggle button. You will receive a confirmation message below. Now just for demonstration, but first, since I currently have no open positions, I will buy one quantity of idea. As you can see, my open position exits at 10:28. To disable the time-based entry or exit features, simply deactivate the respective toggle buttons. We have also included a feature that allows you to execute multiple trades at the same time. You can choose buy or sell CE or PE from the drop-down menu and then click on trade. For instance, I can select buy CE and buy PE. Now when I click the trade button, the tool will buy both CE and PE simultaneously based on the values you have input in the respective CE and PE sections. Moving on, we have a few key features to explore. First, you will notice the total count of open orders displayed next to the open orders title. Right next to that, you will find MTM, which shows your current market-to-market value, giving you an overview of your positions. There is also a cancel all orders button that allows you to cancel all your open orders in one go. For a comprehensive view of your orders, you can use the Orderbook feature, which opens a new window. Keep it in mind that the open orders section by default shows your top 10 latest orders. Should you ever encounter a situation where your orders or positions aren't updating, don't worry, we got you covered with the refresh button. A simple click will update the information. Furthermore, if you wish to cancel a specific open order, you can select that order and click on the cancel button on the right to initiate the cancellation process. For demonstration purposes and to showcase the powerful position management features, let's dive into a live trade. As I enter this trade, you will see that the total count of the open positions is displayed as 1 right next to the open positions title. You can see that the tool has already picked up the stop loss, target 1, target 2, trailing stop loss and partial quantity from the input we have provided. Now, if you wish to modify these values, it's quite simple. Select the cell you want to update and then use the plus or minus buttons on the right. These buttons will increase or decrease the cell value by 1 by default. However, if you want to make larger adjustments, you can input a specific value in the buffer and then press the plus or minus buttons. You can also directly type in a value in the entry box and press enter. This will update the value in the selected cell. At the top, we have add or exit position and roll up or roll down positions. The quantity will be drawn from the quantity text box. If this field is left blank, the quantity of the selected open position will be used. You can manually input a quantity or use the buttons on the left to select a percentage. For instance, if you would like to consider 50% of the quantity, simply click on 0.50 and the quantity text box will update 50% of your position's quantity. The add button will add the specified quantity to your position, while the exit button will exit the given quantity from your position. We have included roll-up and roll-down buttons, which can be incredibly handy for managing your positions. The roll-up button allows you to move your position to the next strike, while the roll-down button lets you shift your position to the previous strike, all based on the value you input. Let's illustrate this with an example. Currently, I have one open position of 43,700 CE for 1 lot. Now, I will attempt to add one more lot of 43,700 CE. If I select 0.50, it populates 50% of the quantity in the quantity text box. Now I have entered the value 1 next to the roll-up button, signifying that I want to exit 15 quantities of my 43,700 CE and add 15 quantities of a strike one step away, which is the 43,800 CE. However, do exercise caution as Zerodha often blocks far out of the money strikes. As you can see, the tool exited 15 quantities of the 43,700 CE and attempted to place an order for 15 quantities of the 43,800 CE, but it got rejected by Zerodha due to this OTM issue. Now let's try adding one more lot and rolling down by one strike. As you can observe, 15 quantities of the 43,700 CE were closed and 15 quantities of the 43,600 CE were added. If you check the order book, you notice that everything occurred within the same second. The tool comes with built-in support for order slicing, so you don't need to be concerned about any freeze limits. You can place any quantity you want and the tool will execute your orders in a matter of milliseconds. However, please keep in mind that Zerodha imposes a rate limit, allowing you to place only 10 orders per second.